you have a copy? I don't know where mine is.
Thank you. Okay. Library trustee meeting, July 12th, 2022. Meeting started at 6:02 p.m. In attendance is Helen Hurto, Jen Crosby, Denise Conti, Paula Lapie, Candace Ribeiro, Terry LaPrade, and Kate Mercier. We lost power for a few minutes, but power was restored. Paula read last meeting's minutes. A motion was made to accept the minutes by Helen Hurto as amended, seconded by Denise Conti.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. There's some spelling.
Director's report. Welcome binders were distributed to the three newest trustees, Candace Ribeiro, Denise Conti, and Nita Abbott. It includes the trustee bylaws, library mission statement, code of ethics, and library bill of rights from the American Library Association, 2021 annual town report, fiscal year 22 statistics, latest budget submission, as well as 2 months of past minutes. Jen also offered to make additional binders for any trustee who would like one. New binders will need to be purchased. Thank you, Jen, for compiling this very useful resource. ICS, formerly Acuity, our tech company, advised that it would not be financially advantageous to update the old computers in our building. A plan was created with ICS to replace the tower of each computer as funding allows. The first replacement was completed on June 27th with leftover funding in our computer network account with the town from FY22. The new fiscal year should allow for a few more to be completed in the future. Jen wrote a letter to the editor that was published in the local newspaper entitled "The Library is Still Free." The purpose of the article was to showcase what the library offers and to invite the community to come in and check it out. Thank you, Jen. There are currently books left over to be picked up from the last book sale in May. September's book sale donations have started to come in. September is the Friends membership month, and they will be promoting a membership drive to attract more interest. ARIS report discussion. Statistics are currently being compiled. The hotspots are currently supported by a federal grant that will expire in September. Jen is currently working with T-Mobile to see about continuing the program with the possibility of cutting back to something to hotspots, or is it?
Cutting back to 3 hotspots.
3 hotspots.
Yeah.
An email was received from MBLC recommending that the trustees, directors, and friends group should meet every 3 years to discuss the big picture of the library goals and how these organizations can support these goals.
On the back.
Upcoming summer activities. Summer 2022 Read and Adventure Program for children, June 13th through August 6th. Janice, the children's librarian, has once again developed an exciting summer reading program for the children ages birth through 11. The theme is this year's Oceans of Possibilities. It includes, for example, weekly seaworthy activity stations and Craft Crabby Tuesdays for ages 4 and up. Children and their families sign up and read, or have someone read to them and log how many minutes they read. Children or their caretakers can then come back to the library with their logs to claim prizes. Ongoing programs for children. Through August, there is a flamingo flock find, learn about the Titanic, and even a story walk about Pirate Pete. In addition, every Friday through August 12th, the CFCE Playgroup meets for drop-in playtime and circle time. The Children's Garden with Gratitude gives children the opportunity to watch what veggie seeds they have planted grow and can paint a gratitude stone to add to the garden. Other exciting programs offered are the Reading Buddies, the Book Club Bookworms for ages 8 to 12, the nationwide program 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, and Scholastic Teachables for children through grade 6. Summer 2022 Reading Program for adults, June 21st through August 19th. The adult reading program is underway, encouraging adult readers of all ages to participate. The theme this year is Read Beyond the Beaten Path, Drop In and De-Stress, encouraging adults to get outside. There are weekly take and make crafts for adults, puzzle and large coloring page tables in the library for anyone who wants to engage in ongoing adult activities. The knitting and quilting groups are also meeting monthly, and there are guess how many yarn balls are in the jar and many more for adults. Policy work. The materials selection policy is up for evaluation as it pertains to the recent book challenges happening around the country. The American Library Association has an entire section of their site offering support for libraries going through challenges. And there's the website if we ever come across this problem. A discussion on the collection management policy as a replacement for the current policy ensued. After discussion, the board voted. A motion was made by Candace Ribeiro and seconded by Denise Condon to accept the collection management policy along with a request for review of library material form in place of previous policy to better serve the needs of our library. Update on statistics, library circulation. The average during spring week brought in about 105 patrons per day with 1,195 circulations per week. An average summer brings in about 145 patients per day with 1,500 circulation per week. Jen asked if trustees would like a monthly circulation statistical report. Board members agreed that they would be interested. Motion was made to accept the following warrants: $585.35 from Baker & Taylor, Blackstone Publishing, Ingram Entertainment, and Staples. $646.84 from Baker & Taylor and Dorenzi Business Technologies, and $8,292.31 for fiscal year 23 CW Mars Inc. and Revistas Inc. and an annual fee for subscriptions. A motion was made by Candace Ribeiro and seconded by Terry LaPrade was to accept the warrants as read. Helen shared with the board an update on Alice's garden. It has been weeded and mowed. The pathway is overgrown and the back area needs serious attending to. The Boy Scouts have volunteered to mow to keep the pathway accessible to patrons. Helen talked to James White of Whitehall Hollow in Granby, who gave her a price to prune, trim, and weed trees, bushes, and perennial beds gardens in the back area of the library. The price is $1,500. Helen is going to discuss in detail what this price entails and bring back to next board meeting. Helen brought up from last meeting about substitutes who are trained and Corey checked to ensure the library stays open if an emergency with staff occurs. Jen is in the process of bringing to the town 2 additional part-time staff to add to the existing staff. Candace asked about what we as a board could do to help with this process. Jen is currently looking at job descriptions of other libraries, and the goal will be to create our own based
I don't know what that is. Our own based on
based
the
on what the library
needs.
needs. Query questions were raised, and Jen has query forms available here at the library. Jen suggested we form a committee to work on ideas for the possibility of 2 new part-time library staff. The selection process of committee members will be addressed in our next meeting. Paula suggested we post on social media such as Good News Granby when the library is not open due to holiday closings. The next meeting of the Board of Trustees is scheduled for August 9th, 2022. A motion was made to adjourn the meeting by Candace Ribeiro and seconded by Helen Herrero at 7:30 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Kate Mercier, substitute secretary.
Is there any changes that I missed? To put on the original?
Yes.
There's a
When
couple typos there too.
Yeah, let me get those, 'cause I have the original document.
Denise Conti, C-O-N-T.
That's because the doctors, I think Tom's the doctors. Okay, same name. C-O-N-T-I.
C-O-N-T-I.
Oh, I have it here, but
Then, just Ribeiro, comma, Denise Conti, right there.
Brothers. I'm sorry.
Just make it a new name. And then, when we were talking about the hot spots on page 1,
Yeah.
the very last sentence, the possibility of cutting back to 3 hot spots
2 to 3 months.
from 5, if you want to put that in, because we have 5 currently. I'd like to cut it down to 2 or 3, depending on pricing.
Yeah.
And then, the children's update, crafty, where we say craft?
Craft Tuesdays.
Yes, it's actually Crafty Crab.
Oh,
Crabby sounds like they were really cranky. I mean, they might have been cranky too, but I think most of them were happy.
Any other additions?
That's all. Did we get the name of the landscape company correct?
I think so.
White Hollow.
White,
White.
White Hollow?
I think it's.
just White Hollow, not White Hall.
It's White Hollow. Yeah.
White Hollow, no,
Okay.
no hall.
White
Yeah.
Hollow.
Thought it sounded.
The beauty of a computer.
So, okay, so, about where I talked about the Alice's garden,
Okay.
it has been weeded and mulched, not mowed. The pathway Okay, so it's not the Boy Scouts, it was White Hollow that volunteered to mow the pathway accessible, and it's really not to patrons, it's only to us because there's stones back there. We are going to be pulling the stones from up there to finish Alice's garden.
So how would you like it read?
So how about if we say White Hollow has volunteered to mow to keep the pathway accessible. We'll skip the patrons.
Okay, hold on. White Hollow has offered.
Has offered
To mow,
to mow to keep the pathway accessible.
and then give it to patrons.
Yeah. Nobody wants to go back there.
Then they don't.
Got it.
Guaranteed.
It's pretty. Last time I went out there, I got all scratched and cut up.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty.
I think that must be ticked out enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, is that everything? Otherwise looks good?
Yes. Okay. I had no problem hearing Michelle, but that whole conversation I couldn't hear. So maybe if I call you on the cell phone, I might be able to hear you guys.
Better.
Okay, yeah, I can put you on speaker. Sure.
Okay.
Let's do it. We have technology. Make this work.
When I was zooming in last week, last one, my hard hearing didn't either.
It's hard, yeah.
It's hard on
really
this
hard.
Zoom.
Oh gosh. There we go. You're nice and muted.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna get the.
Feedback.
Okay, you're gonna have to move your screen behind you.
I was typing these up, it was like the longest minutes
There we
ever.
You did an amazing
Oh my
job.
gosh.
Okay. How's that better?
Oh, much better, thank you.
Okay, no problem. I'll put you in the middle of the table. May we borrow an agenda?
Of course.
Oh, you got one? Awesome. Thank you.
You did.
I lost so many. I have so many. I'm swimming in papers in here. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, just send this to you as well.
Okay. Yes.
And you can print it.
Okay, so we'll need to make a motion to approve with additions or adjustments.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with adjustments to it.
One second.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor?
Yes. Yeah.
My apologies. Aye.
You forgot.
You're getting thrown into it, Kate.
It's because I was trying to email the minutes and wasn't good at multitasking.
Can I ask who's there? I see Kate, I see Michelle, I see Candace. Was that Helen at the end of the table?
Yes.
Okay,
Terry,
who else is there?
Terry,
Denise,
Nita.
Okay, the ones I named is the ones I can see, so, okay. I just wasn't sure. And
Okay.
I will apologize, I'm gonna have to do video meetings for the next several months. I'm having surgery, so I will not be able to drive.
Okay.
Well, let's,
So,
Keep it going and we'll work around.
and Jan,
Yeah.
let us know if you need anything.
I will, the
Okay.
next meeting, I will be in the hospital, so I won't, be able to, attend that one on the 12th, so,
Okay.
just in case I forget to tell you, but the rest of them, hopefully I'll be home for.
Okay.
Moving on,
All right, so
the library's director report.
I always do this. I make my notes in the wrong order that I've done them on the agenda. So just bear with me in my craziness. Our building update's pretty short and sweet. We did have some condensation dripping from our air conditioning vents, which happens quite often. In the summertime, Jeremy was able to adjust all of our settings so the building is actually cooler, which is keeping that condensation from getting a chance to build up and rain on us. Luckily, it wasn't in any places that were damaging, so aside from the carpet, which we had them come out and air dry for us very quickly, so.
Was it in the same area?
We had a small one here, we had one in like the great hall right as you walk in, and one in the great hall all the way down the end, and then the conference room. It rained in the conference room.
This like happened over the weekend, of course?
It did, it's, the week before last, it had happened and they had fixed it, and then it started again on Saturday last week. But they had brought us a fan already, so I just picked the fan up from the other spot and put it in the spot that needed it, and we left buckets out. Over the weekend it cured, magic cure. So, fingers crossed that that doesn't happen again. Let's see, what do I have on here? Our ARIS report. Let me see, the ARIS report was finished, and I need a signature from our trusty vice chair, if you don't mind. And I'll give a quick little rundown of what it looks like. It's a little different this year because last year we were still closed for COVID for quite a large portion of the year. So our statistics are very different, but we're getting back to normal, which is the great news in it. Our holdings were down by 2,425, but that's because we had this huge weeding project going on where we took all the old books from the shelves and discarded the ones that were old, gross, outdated. We did that in both the adult fiction, nonfiction, and the children's room. So that allots for those, the holdings. But it really still, we have 39,000 volumes in the building, so we're still doing pretty good. Our total holdings did go up in a sense thanks to our ebooks. The more ebooks that CW Mars acquires, the more our numbers go up for that. And our local electronic collections went up as far as circulation goes by 479 thanks to our Hoopla subscription. And it also went up due to our Novelist, which is a statewide database that people can access to get different articles. And so the total for our electronic collections was 762 total increase. So that was pretty good for the year. Let's see, our circulation went way up due to the past COVID closing. It doubled. We went from about 30,000 to 65,000. So it really jumped. And our non-resident circulation, which is the big one we get reimbursed from the state due to those numbers, increased for the same reason. It increased to 25,829, which was more than double last year's number. The only other big difference to report is our Friends group did go from 82 members to 72, which isn't a huge issue, but it is kind of trending downward, so something for us to be aware of in the future. Okay, awesome. And then if you could just print your name in comma vice chair. That is what it is, vice chair. And then I'll get that sent out. That'll be exciting. And then I'll start our financial report. They don't give us any time. They overlap them. Before I even have this one done, they're like, okay, so the financial report's ready.
Which is not at Christmas time.
Yeah,
Everything
true.
happens.
True. It's actually not too bad.
Jen, are the statistics close to what they were
Prior, yes. So we're getting back to what they were prior, which I actually think our holdings went down because of the whole weeding project, but our circulation did go up from the year 2019. So it's showing, finally showing that trend back upward, which is what we were doing kind of year to year. It was creeping up a little bit each year, so it's nice to see those numbers come back. Our non-resident circulation is amazing. To be doing that much, basically, this is the books that we circulate to patrons who don't live in Granby. So all the people that come from Belchertown, South Hadley, other communities using their cards here will show up in that number. So we get
Does that include
CW Mars borrowing?
No, that is actually held in a completely different, ILL category, so it shows our interlibrary loans loaned out.
Did you tell us what the circulation was for for non-resident?
For non-resident, it was 25,829, which was more than double last year. And our ILLs, the things that we loaned in and out, were about the same. It's about 7,000 each way, so we provide about 7,000 a year out, and we get about 7,000 a year in. That's been pretty steady. So that is our statistical report for ARIS. That is from the 1st of July of 2021 to June 30th of this year, which is how we report our statistics to the state. I'll just jump to our current library statistics because I kind of wanted to show everybody what I did, and I gave everyone a paper as well as what I'm going to show you on our screen. So I'm going to get up and hopefully my clip's going to be real graceful. Okay, so I wanted to show everyone, this is something that can be accessed via cwmars.org on my library staff site. And it's nice to be able to provide you guys with this info that you can take with you, but it's really cool. I thought I didn't want to not show you how neat it is to kind of look at our numbers as far as the graphs go. And so this is, let me see if I can move this out of the way. This is for, we don't want to, I'm going to switch this. July 1st, 2022. So we updated. So the one that you were just looking at was for the full fiscal year of 2022. Now this is our monthly. So you'll see from the 1st of July to the 31st of July this year, we did 6,452 total circulations. And that little graph on the right shows you like the checkouts, the renewals. And then as you scroll down, and I put on the paper, to put it into perspective, last month we had 5,552, and the month prior to that in May we did 4,266. So you can see kind of how crazy our summers are. Total checkouts per month, that really doesn't show much because it's only 1 month. And then we have this really cool little Massachusetts grid, and the dark purple shows you which towns are higher in our circulation. So the people that come from out of town to visit us, you can scroll over these guys and it'll show you Belchertown. Granby is the most obviously, and then South Hadley. We have a pretty decent amount of South Hadley circs. 1550 from Belchertown, more little Amherst, a little bit of Amherst. So it's just kind of neat to kind of poke around and see.
Cool.
Like somebody must live in 01050 because there are 106 circs out there. So I find it's really interesting the way that we're located on Route 202, that we get people from, people that are just driving home from work, that maybe they live in Chicopee, but they work in Ware or whatever, vice versa, that they're driving by us, and we probably are just the easiest place for people to stop. Yes, we have a really great parking lot. They can just pull right up, drop their things off, pick them up. The graph to the right shows you the checkouts by what type of material they were. So you see we have 114 audios, mostly books, and then a pretty decent chunk of DVDs. It's kind of neat to see. And the one I really wanted to show everyone tonight is this one. Desk circulation by day of the week, hour of the day. So it shows you which days we're busy and at what times. So you'll see like Tuesday's got that really tall peak right around noon. Yes, people miss us. You can see we open and it just goes right up.
Summer though, too.
Yes, I know it'll definitely change, which will be fun to kind of revisit this in a couple months to see what the fall looks like. So like every morning around the time we open, like 11 o'clock, we're busy. Tuesday the most. And then we have little peaks in the afternoon, little lulls in the late afternoon, and then Friday afternoon always peaks around 4 o'clock. We get slammed in here. And then on Thursdays, because we're open later, we have a nice little crowd of people that come and take advantage of our later hours. And last but not least, it's also kind of neat to see, although our book group kind of monopolizes it, the top titles circulated, which the Paper Palace was our book group for this month. It shows you like Dog, the DVD was number 2, our hotspots. And then also to the right, it'll show you the most circulated authors, which are typically children's book authors because their books are so tiny and the kids just devour. But pesky James Patterson is up there.
Mary Blavatsky, the Treehouse books.
Yes, yep, the Magic Tree House is number
Mullins
1.
is
No
the
Pigeon
one.
ones.
Pigeon books.
Days and Meadows does all those fun little fairy books. But James Patterson, I don't understand it. He's just everyone's favorite, and I'm just wondering why. And then there's also the network transfers. These are, what we circulate from other libraries, which for, 1 month doesn't really show a whole lot. But then it's kind of neat to see the network transfers, where all of our books are going, where our books are coming from, and the value of materials. This is probably one of my other favorite parts, is it shows you in just this 1 month, we saved the community $86,000,
Right.
which would be really nice to show people if we ever have
With
to
the budget, yeah.
justify
the budget.
our budgeting, and if we ever have to go to town meeting for whatever
We just have
reason.
to come more, I think, to see that, and then, oh, yeah, it's real.
I don't think, I didn't even realize it was that much money, because when
Right.
we put items in the system, we give them a value, so it's usually the amount of what the item cost plus $1 or $2 for processing. And that's, every library does that, so every item has a value, and that is how that is put together. It'll show you 73,000 is our items, and then the 13K is from other towns. And then it'll show you how much money each town, the value of each circulated to each town.
That's amazing.
It's really fun. I've been having a lot of fun playing around with this stuff. But I think my favorite is this time of day. It really kind of,
Shows you how much the community is using it.
yeah, it really does. And so it's nice to see, and I'm just really glad to get to show everybody that.
Well, that kind of data too can be helpful when you're making a proposal to get more staff.
Yes.
You can track the days and the times that are highly trafficked, and
Right.
it kind of speaks for itself, like, yeah, we need help.
It definitely shows, yeah. I mean, we're definitely, and it's by number of circulations. So, I mean, imagine how many circulations we had? 336 at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock on a Friday. So it's a lot.
If you were the cashier, you'd be like, the line would be out the door,
It's amazing, isn't it? I
right?
mean,
If you were buying something.
it's no wonder my feet hurt at the end of the day.
So, Jen,
Yes.
your map of the Massachusetts,
Yeah.
it could be people that go to college and they come, they get into our library and loan, or our
Yes.
local the library.
Yeah, that's definitely true
Because
too.
you got even near, the Worcester area and near, down towards the Connecticut border, so,
Yeah.
it could be all kids that are around, like, in the college and sign into your program.
That's true.
Or,
It's because our programs are so amazing.
Yeah.
my daughter does it for
Very
Vermont, at the regular library.
I mean, that's awesome. My best friend, she double dips also. She lives in Enfield, but she still uses our catalogs sometimes when she can. So, moving forward, I'm happy to put it in paper for everyone, but I'm also happy to pull it up this way whenever we want to kind of take a deeper look at what's happening. But it's good to know that those numbers are there, those graphs are there. It's something that we can tap into when we need to show people why we need more staff and the value of the library to the community. Okay, so with that, moving on, I did want to give another little update. I know I kind of touched on it, but our Hoopla usage, that's our digital, it's like the extra digital thing that we purchased. We spent $1,000 upfront in advance when we acquired it about a year ago. I think it was August of 2021. And we spent the money plus, I think, $91 over a year. and we circulated 479 items to 66 patrons. So for the first year, I think those are pretty good numbers. I think it's worth keeping around, and it also goes on our AIRS report as statistics for our library. So,
I love it.
yes.
I love it. My name's got to be on there because, I do the 10 a month. You're allowed to do 10 a
Awesome.
month. And
So what do you use it, maybe like a little pamphlet or something, people on the front of it?
Yes, we have like the bookmarks that we hand to people when they get new cards, and if they're asking about the ebooks, I'm like, oh, check out this one too, don't forget this one, so.
Especially for summer.
Yeah, I need to get more so we can continue handing them out. And it's also really good, I've noticed, it gets the interest of the younger crowd, like the teens, because they don't want to have to wait for their book. And with Libby, you have to wait a little bit longer, you have to put in for a hold on a lot of items, but with the Hoopla, everything is available right away. And it does music and movies and shows and all that stuff too. So I've noticed with like the teens, it's easy to get them interested. And you think they're gonna roll their eyes at me, but then I tell them about like the music and they're like, what? Like, yeah, we use Switch games too. So yeah, definitely I will keep that going. I think we'll just pay monthly at this point now that we've kind of seen, what the statistics are. I did $1,000 to start off because we had the grant money and I kind of wanted to see how far that would get us. I was afraid to kind of just let people go willy-nilly and then have the bill come in and be $500 something every month. So now that we know that it's doable, less than $100 a month, I think it's more than worth keeping. So with that, we're going to switch over to our policy work. As you probably saw, I picked a really easy one for this month because I had all of this other stuff going on. But this one definitely is in desperate need of being updated. It's our storm closing policy. And since we created this one, the town has changed their policy and how they approach town buildings and inclement weather. So you'll see I know it's all black, so I'm sorry. It was supposed to be red. The suggested revision, the Granby Free Public Library will be closed owing to inclement weather if, and we had the Granby Public Schools close. That suggested revision is when the town of Granby closes. And then, or we had at the discretion of the library director, that has now being changed to at the discretion of the town administrator. He is the one that makes all those calls now. It's the town policy.
So this is just based on the inclement weather. This is not based on if you're short-staffed.
Right. Yeah, this is only for weather-related closures. Chris Martin now will call us and let us know, or Kathy Leonard will call us and let us know the town's closing at this time. Let your staff know. Blah, blah, blah.
What does that actually mean, that if the town of Granby closes? I've never really
Their
heard it.
Yes,
The
if they
town
close the town
offices.
offices,
The town
we
offices.
immediately have to close as well.
So if the
Count.
school's closed, the offices could be open.
Yeah.
Yes. So this kind of opens it up to, we don't just close when the schools close, because
Okay.
that kind of ended up, sometimes the schools close and it's really not that bad.
Right.
They were more concerned about the buses in the morning or
Right.
whatever it is. So we've kind of gotten off of the path of following the schools and
Okay.
making a decision based on what the town feels is safe or not safe. So if the town of Granby closes their offices, we are immediately closed as well, or at the discretion of the town administrator if for some reason it's a Saturday and the town's already closed or whatever it may be, he can give us the permission to close early or whatever it is. And then the library may be opened after the weather has improved at the discretion of the, we should change that to,
To the town administrator?
yeah. Or maybe, yeah.
Do they make you make up your hours?
Yes, we do. If the town closes, I believe we get paid for it, but if we're the only ones that close, we have to make up our own hours. So, for the most part, the town will pay us if they are the ones that decide to make that closure.
And
Yes.
maybe that last line needs to just come out, because it's contradicting what's being said above. you don't, there's no discretion there for the library director to ever stay open or reopen.
Right, it
If
would
the
be
town closes,
the town
you
admin.
have to close, so maybe that line just needs to come out completely.
Yeah, and we could just take it out completely and just make it very straightforward.
Which line are you talking about?
After the or.
The library may be opened after the weather has improved.
Have you ever reopened?
I don't think so. I think it's been a case of.
You mean on that day?
On
Is
that
what
day,
is
yeah.
reference to?
Well, you don't usually close till the very last minute anyway.
Yeah, we usually wait until
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this is getting really bad.
There's a full snow out there.
If we're here and we close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe we should just take that right out.
Yeah, because it's unlikely that if the town administrator closes you for the day, it's unlikely that they're gonna come midday and say, well, you can come back, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Ain't nobody gonna wanna get out of their pajamas to come back. Okay, so maybe nix that, and then we have
So what are
please,
we mixing?
the line that says the library may be opened.
Oh,
That
okay.
After the
line.
weather has improved.
And then we have please call ahead before coming to the library to be sure that the library is open. Maybe we could say, please check online or call.
Now, if they call, do you have a way to leave a message?
We don't have a message, so they would have to have us call. There's no way that I can come in and change that
Is it
message.
a message thing that says it?
We have a message thing, but if it's a library closure due to weather, I
You can't
can't
change it from your
come
house.
in. Yeah, I can't change it.
Oh,
Yeah,
So then I would
So
say,
maybe-
don't call ahead
be
because
better.
there's gonna be nobody here.
yeah.
And your
Well,
messages
no one
might not be
answers.
updated.
Jen, you can
Drive
put it
by,
on
there's
the
no cars
website.
here. They never
Website,
know.
yeah.
Jen,
Yes, I do put
put
it.
it out on the website.
I do put it on the
library
website.
closed today.
We post it on like all the cable channels, the local cable channels, and their websites.
So please check the library website. Maybe we should put that
Maybe we
down.
should just take that whole thing
Just
out.
take that whole sentence
I know
out.
it's kind of silly.
I mean,
People know what to do to check to see if there are
Right.
storm closings.
Right, right,
figure it out.
right.
So it won't say, it won't say this or this anymore.
You're a grown up.
Right, so we
Yeah,
can
just
never
do
do
it.
the whole
Yeah.
library.
Okay.
And we'll accept those two
Okay.
revisions
All right.
in black and white. And then get rid of those last two sentences and just short and sweet. And then revised August 9, 2022, if the board so chooses.
Does anyone have any further discussion about this?
I'm not a fan of the way it says will be closed owing to inclement weather. That just
Change
is not, like, it doesn't
Due to?
sound like the way people talk.
Right, like we
Due
owe it,
to?
we owe it to the weather.
Yeah.
Which we never can tell in New England.
Due to inclement weather.
Yeah.
Which is, that's usually how I word
At the
everything.
discretion of the town administrator. Right?
Perfect.
It's just a really.
Or the Grammy Food Club will close due to inclement weather if the town of Grammy closes
Closes
or at the discretion of the town
administrator.
administrator. I think that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I know.
Good catch. I thought that when I first read it over
I
too.
looked at it, I go,
was
is
like,
there,
"Oh, weird."
is there something missing in that word? What are they trying to say here?
Yeah, I was
Just-
like, I was trying to think
doesn't
back
flow.
into like my the old files and I'm like, who said that would be a good word to remember? Which is exactly why we have to go over our policies, because sometimes there's just really weird wording that, like, who thought of that?
Well, town offices are closed, it must be posted on their website at least.
Yeah, so they
Well, we
post
know
it
that- It'd be
too.
easy then to know.
But I usually, once I find out that they close, I usually post it too. So I think for the most part, it's
Yeah, it'll
pretty
be on social media.
straightforward. But we have to have this paper in our policy book, so.
Are there any other corrections or discussion?
I make a motion to accept the storm closing policy as revised.
Kate, you can't make the motion.
It wasn't me, it was Candace.
Oh, okay, I couldn't tell the difference who was doing it.
It's because we're so close in age.
But actually, you can make a motion.
I'll second it.
So we have.
All in favor?
All in favor, thank you.
Aye.
All in favor? The vote carries.
To take the motions all the time.
It's probably never. It's fine. So let's see, see, got that done. The ongoing summer activities, we talked a lot about these in our last minutes. The take and make crafts for adults have been super popular.
Very popular, very cute,
Very
amazing.
cute. They did a great job.
Amazing, you should see what they're doing.
Yeah,
I've
this-
taken too
This
long.
week we have a ceramic coaster that you can make.
Last week it was a planter, it was a planter like this little macrame thing and you put flowers on it.
Oh.
And the week before that, it was a shell necklace. Like really cute stuff.
Mhm, I know the shell
Then I'm
necklace
getting
is
a gift.
adorable. Right?
Jen, where did you get those?
Jean made them all up. She
But she's amazing.
just went on and she's so crafty. She went on
Her
and
and
looked up all
Janet.
these different ideas and she had a couple volunteers help. Denise helped a lot with making a lot of the
Well, I
samples.
appreciate it. So it was really nice and
And
fun.
Gloria helped as well. I get my crafty volunteers to help out because I don't have a crafty one in my pocket.
Like 3-foot macrame.
Yes. Yeah, Gloria helped with a few things.
She's a saint on the floor.
Which was super helpful.
Did you keep it?
I did for years, but I don't know the name.
Our book group is ongoing. We're doing year-round now. We don't take any breaks because everybody just really enjoys it. So we're meeting this Thursday. We have our knitting group comes every couple Saturdays. We have our quilting group still coming. And then in the back of the Great Hall, I have ongoing puzzle and coloring page tables, which I'm not too sure too many people have been doing my puzzle.
No, it hasn't gone for.
I'll have to
you
come in
know,
tomorrow.
Somebody's gonna help me.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to put a fall on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that on my lunch break one day.
easy part.
Yeah. As maybe if I do that, it'll get people spark interest. But then we had this coloring page. I bought this big coloring sheet online and put it over the table. And we had our McDuffie camp kids coming in, and we had a couple families coming in, and they've been filling it in, and they had a lot of fun with it. I look back there and see little heads, which has just been really fun. It's nice to have something passive that people can come in and do by themselves when they are comfortable. Our summer reading programs are winding down. We have 2 more weeks of summer preschool play group. We have I put flaming, fine.
Does flamingo?
Flamingo, not flaming.
Flaming.
We're doing.
That's what's going on here.
Oh my god.
Who would say that?
I put flaming.
Oh. Did you do the seed library this year?
We didn't do the seed library. We need to update our seeds because they're
Oh.
very old. So as soon as I get somebody on the Friends group who's willing to take over that. I'm not sure if the Providence, we're doing it from a place in Providence. They would send us all the seeds. I don't know if they're doing it anymore since
Oh.
COVID. So got to find some new seeds. We can start that up again because that was really fun. People
Yeah.
really liked that. So now that maybe we can get that going over the winter. We have our reading buddies still going, and our theme displays on the Titanic and on Pirates. We have a teen guessing jar, which has been really fun to see the teens. Janice had shredded little
Oh, that
tiny
was
pieces of a
amazing.
page of a book.
That was in bad condition. She didn't take a new book.
Right,
and
yeah.
shred it.
Shredded it and then put it in a big jar so the teens
figure
had
out
to
what
pick
the-
the jar up and look at it and
What
try to
book is it?
read.
Oh, you're kidding.
Some of the-
It's amazing.
Wow.
Just-
I asked her
I
about
knew
it. It's
exactly
amazing.
what, I knew exactly what.
I don't know what it
Is
is.
it done yet? Is it,
Not
has it
yet.
been, oh, I was
Not
gonna
yet.
say.
I'll tell you next one.
It's amazing. I couldn't figure it
I
out.
wonder if anyone's gonna get it.
You guys are welcome to look at it before you leave.
But she made sure to tell me that was a damaged book.
Yes.
She would never do that to me.
Yeah, we have a lot of really overloved books, which we figured that would be one somebody would recognize. It was super fun. I love watching the kids try to figure that out. And then we have Teens Color by Sticker. They can come and place the stickers on a page. And then we have our Dungeons and Dragons group, which is super popular. And we are in the works to start up a new Magic the Gathering group, which is going to be run by one of our kiddos that comes to Dungeons and Dragons. So that'll be fun. The one other thing, I did talk with Chris Martin about the Cory check. It needs to be updated every 2 years. So I will be getting on top of that. I've looked at Massachusetts state law.
And it has to be just from the library, like not from our job.
Yeah. So I'll be updating those, making sure everybody that I have currently on board is up to date. I think there's just a couple who need to be. Denise. I mean, you could have caused a lot of trouble since the last
I'm
time
telling you.
before I checked you.
Representing it.
Yes, so I'll kind of go through and I'll start with my,
Ethics one, too, 'cause
usual.
I never know when that's due.
yes, I will look
I
into
never
that.
remember.
I don't know when our ethics is due either.
That boring
I
thing,
will ask Kathy.
Yeah,
it's boring.
usually,
It's every 1 or 2 years, I think, so I'll check on that.
Did the same one for like 2 of my jobs last
yeah.
year.
And then the last thing that I have is I received an email from Leah, who's the treasurer of our Friends group, about our CD that the trustees hold at Florence Bank.
It should have gone up, because mine did.
Yeah,
Well, not Florence Bank, but for Chris, for
oh, okay.
mine.
Oh, good,
Chris.
that's good
A
to
lot.
know. The CD has $33,091.44 in it. It's currently making 0.20%, which is about a $5.50 a month increase. And it matures on August 19th, which is next Friday. There is a 10 calendar day grace period in which we can act on this. Leah also provided us with rates from Florence Bank, and then she also sent us rates from Capital One to give us some ideas of what the online rates are looking like, and asked that we decide what we'd like to do. It's about half of the money. About 33,000 is in this, and then another 30 is in with the New York Life.
Which is through Chris, it usually does.
Yeah. So,
So the one thing she says there is the problem with online banking is whoever takes over needs to be comfortable with online banking. So
right.
who manages this among us?
The money.
Leah, the friends.
The friends do that. Oh, okay.
So Leah is
Okay.
actually stepping down from her position as treasurer in the fall, so we are currently looking for someone to take over her
Gotcha.
treasurer position. So she asks in the email about Linda, who is one of our volunteers who might
Okay.
be interested. No, Linda Reznikevich, she's one of our Thursday night volunteers. So she's kind of interested, but she hasn't given us a thumbs up yet.
And Jen, my name needs to come off and Paula's name needs to go on.
Okay.
And then whoever replaces Leah, so it'll be Paula and whoever replaces Leah.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's nothing I need to do. Leah usually just goes and gets the form at the library, at the banks, and has the name swapped over. So, you probably do it at the same time if, Linda does take over. It's just little
Yeah.
cards we have to get signed.
That's a good idea to do it all at once.
Yeah.
The other thing, we only have about 3,700 in the liquid savings account, which we've been using this money for landscaping, furnishings, and furniture, and we do have some expenses that we're talking about with the White Hollow landscaping. Do we want to pull some more of the money out of the CD since we're going to be using that money? We want to have some of it fluid. That's my thinking, but
Jen, how much do we have in the bank account?
we have $3,771.98 that's fluid in our savings. We have 33,000 in the CD and 28,000 in New York Life Securities.
I thought we've always kept around 4,000, but if we're gonna do something bigger this year, we might wanna take out 2,000 or 3,000 and put it over.
I think we're looking at spending at least a couple thousand out of that money.
That would be
for-
out of the New York Securities.
it would be coming out of the savings account, which we would then be quickly depleting.
So
So
you
I,
might take it out of New York Life because you have penalties.
my thought is the CD.
CDs.
Once it matures on August 19th,
Oh,
we
okay.
take some of those funds
Right,
and
right.
transfer them to the savings account, and
Jen,
then
do you know
we'll.
what that money can be used for again? It can't be used for
Yes.
program, right?
No, it's for furniture, furnishings, landscaping. So we could use it on computers, we could use it on anything in the building to replace or furnish or any of the landscaping. So it's basically the money that we saved that people donated to us to build the building that turned into money that they would furnish the building and that we spent.
Jen, how much is it for each computer that has to be done?
About $1,000.
And how many, we've done only one, and how many more we have?
A lot. We have 25 computers in the building, although not all of them need to be done right away. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that need to be done right away.
No.
As soon as we can.
You know, you might want to take enough money to do them all.
And as I was talking with somebody about it, and they were like, well, if you do one a year, the other ones, the ones you do are gonna be old by the time you do, I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So aside from spending $1,000 a year for the rest of the life of the library on a new computer, we could at least do, I know the staff computers are gonna be in desperate need of being updated for the library to be able to run.
How many years did they say, because on an average, is it 5 or 7?
Well, currently the ones we have are 9 years old. So
Okay.
I think it should
There's a
be.
lot of updates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So,
if we have 14 that have to go, maybe we do 4 this year, 4 next year, and
yeah,
over the course of 7 years, we would have 4 a year that we would always have to replace.
yeah, and it's probably a good idea to do that, kind of have like a technology plan in place to do that.
But if we don't take enough money out of the CD,
And here who's talking,
Helen, sorry.
if we don't take enough money out of the CD, do you have money in your budget for?
We have enough money in the budget for one
One
in
annually.
operating annually. And then we do have also some funding left over from the LEED certification money. So we could also use some of that. I just hate to, once that money's gone, it's gone kind of. I mean, so is this.
How much do you have in lead certification?
I can go find out real quick if you guys want to continue
Do
to.
you have just a guess?
I want to say like 25,000-ish. Guess.
Okay.
And what can that money be used?
That money can be used on anything in the library, so it can be used for programming, it can be used for furnishings, furniture, technology.
Because people come in to use those computers, I see them. There's always
Yes, oh my
somebody.
gosh, and we've had a
They
lot
come
of
to use them.
issues because now that Microsoft, not Microsoft Office, the web browser is no longer supported. So you can use the Microsoft browser, but then it won't let you get on Google, it won't let you get on like a whole
That's
host of
what they
things
do.
that people try to
That's
get
how they make their
onto.
money,
It's awful.
just like the phones.
So I have like 3 computers in our bank of 8 that work properly right now.
I mean, this is a priority in a way.
So what if we make a
You're so
proposal
old.
to do 5, 5, and 5? I mean, I know you only have 14 computers, but
Well, they're
But yeah,
not-
we have 25 total in the building, so we could,
you know, I don't know, I think it's a priority, I mean, if they're used. You know, and I think that whoever said, I think it was you that said, if we only fix one a year, you're just gonna be constantly on this wheel of fixing. You still might be even with 5, but you'll still be
Yeah.
behind. You'll still be
Still
behind,
behind,
but a little less behind, I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah. And it'd be good to be on good rotation so that I can keep track of, okay, like which year we bought which computers. and That would,
I mean, that's my proposal. Where you get the $5,000, that's a further discussion, I guess.
Do the Friends have money? Do they?
yes, the Friends do,
I know years ago.
Right, it was on sale.
We spent
Yeah.
a lot of money,
Yeah.
the Friends spent a lot of money
Yeah.
on.
Did the library, I mean, yeah, they do.
and I know right now they're not taking in a lot of income because of the big changeover with our Friends members and officers, and we only have been able to really do a couple fundraisers a year
Right,
because of
COVID,
COVID,
right.
so, you know, I haven't really pushed my luck with them too much in the past couple years for that reason, but those things will get better.
Needs a whole refresh.
Yes, yeah, so we'll be working on that. I've got a
So
couple
what if
people in
you
mind.
bought one with the $1,000 that you said, the budget is in your budget.
Right.
There's one with the leads money, and then the other, what did I say,
The other three.
Five, yeah.
the other three, or what about two with the leads money?
But why do we want to use the leads money? And that's not,
Well, what are we
Because
saving the leads money for?
well, programs, because you can use that for programs.
Yeah, it's
You can't
basically
use this
kind of
other
like
money
our
for
nest
programs.
egg. It's
Oh, you
there
can't
Yeah.
use the other money, meaning this CD money?
Yes, on anything
On
but
anything
furniture,
but, okay.
furnishings.
Okay,
yeah,
so
our
then
outside
switch it.
landscape.
Do one with your regular budget, and I guess the other four with the CD money.
Yeah, we could do that. Or maybe for just this year, we could do 1 and 3, because I already did 1.
Yeah.
So we could do 1 and 3, so that, I think the moral of the story is we definitely need to have more of that money taken out.
So you said there's $33,091 in that
Yes, in the CD. And then 28,000 in the interplay.
So you're gonna need 4,000 from that?
So, I mean, do we wanna, if we want some more fluid funding, we could take out, I don't know, I feel funny being the one to suggest it, but there's only 3,700. if
Well,
you
you're
wanted to do
talking-
some landscaping
Yeah,
with
so
that
that's-
money.
I guess we should know more specific what that quote is, right? Maybe we
Yeah.
can further this discussion
No.
after we hear more of that.
You want to,
But I think we
Take
need
out
to,
the quote.
we could, with the computers, we can definitely table that, but I think the CD discussion, we have to make a decision because it's coming due next week.
so considering the money is making so little,
Okay, swipe the phone towards Helen. She's really quiet.
considering the funds are making so little, no,
I think we should spend it.
that's what,
That's what my financial advisor
They
told me.
need it.
Just spend your
Just
money.
say,
They can't access it.
"These aren't making any money.
Right.
You're not gonna find, you can search till you're blue in the face, and you are not gonna find any bank that is gonna give you any money.
We're making $5 a month on
Yeah.
30,000.
So we might as well spend it, because that's where it's gonna do the most good, not sitting there making pennies.
Good point. I'll second that.
Well, but does this leads money make any money?
No, it's in a town account, so it's kind of like chilling in the background of the town
So you're
account.
not getting,
Yeah, we're not making interest on that.
so we still need to decide what to do with that.
So do we close the CD and put it all in the savings?
So
Because you
Did
need to
someone
spend
say
it
that
with 5,000, right?
on Helen's report of the garden, we might need some cash there, that maybe we should hear what Helen has to say before we decide how much money to take out?
Sure, if you don't mind going, circling back.
We can.
Switch
Yeah.
hats? Sure.
Okay, so, yeah, let me get on. I'm on my soapbox today. So talking about LEED certification, there are specifics that Janet Hartley is looking at as to how we are supposed to be maintaining this building and the property, the grass, landscaping. There are things that we are not, the town is not helping us
Comply with.
comply with. So this is a whole different discussion, but just moving forward, last month I got the quote from White Hollow for $1,500, and they offered to come in and trim the trees, the bushes, pull out the weeds, all the gardens, and we're talking to the right, to the front, to the back, to where the dinosaur is, everywhere. So we have that quote from them.
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's
And is
very
that
much.
like a one-time deal?
A
A
one-time
one-time deal.
Because, as I was saying, I mean, it's you and me and Janet, we're coming in, here and there, once in a while, whatever, we just can't physically keep up with it as volunteers. So it really needs to be trimmed and maintain.
Refreshed after 10
Refreshed.
years.
Yes, so we're going on our 10-year anniversary next year.
So the other piece of it was the town had offered to mulch for us on some sort of schedule. They have never mulched here before. They have put us on a schedule for spring of 2023, which makes no sense if we're gonna go to the trouble of getting everything cleaned up, weeded, and trimmed. So I asked them to provide me with a second quote to mulch, and they said $650 to mulch it. So we could get it all done in one shot. The only other thing that Janet Hartley wanted was some compost, because the landscaping isn't performing very well. So she wanted to spend some money on some
That was
compost.
$650.
So those are,
And how do they water the gardens?
Janet comes out here and waters, you know, like things,
Surely we could sprinklers.
like,
All right, just hold tight.
That's what I did.
but that's
One
great.
thing
At
at
my
a
house.
time.
So those are two things that we need to spend money on, and the compost, I'm not sure how much that would be. But I think when we bought the mulch,
You're gonna spend that, I'm telling you right now you are.
yeah, it's,
And then you have to pay to get it here.
right, you have to pay to get it here,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Compost is $5 a 5-gallon bucket down at Marsteps. I've gone and gotten some.
Or yard, just by the
Wasn't
yard.
there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Well-
gonna need a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe do you think Class Press would waive the delivery fee or something, considering
He's also expensive too.
the
He
library?
has waived it for
Yeah.
the last 2 times we did it, but to be honest with you, I don't have it in me to come out here.
No.
It's just, I mean, I've done it
No,
twice
I
before.
know.
I
know
think,
someone else has, yeah.
I think, you know, it's,
And it's first time in 10 years.
And we have the money.
and we have the money.
We have all that.
So the landscaping, if we went with White Hollow for $1,500, and the mulching for $650 and the compost, it would be all almost of the $3,000 left in.
Right, right.
in
And
the
there's
savings
one
account.
other caveat. So Alice's Garden, we've been working on this like a year and a half, and we've been waiting for folks who volunteer to do things for us. You know, that's why it's taken so long. Well, part of it, you know, because people do things at no cost. So we have been hanging on and hanging on. So we had Boy Scouts that we enlisted to help build the stone wall. And somehow I offered to buy the pizza and drinks and stuff, and, you know, sort of suddenly I'm not hearing from them. So,
Will not work for pizza.
so, I mean, I don't know how much longer we can put this off, so.
How many stones we have to move?
There's some, you know, they're down there, well, you know where they are. And
Yeah.
it's been mowed, White Hollow mowed, so we can access it.
How many hours do you think it would take? A couple of guys?
I don't know.
I mean, my son's been coming in and help, but
I
maybe in
know.
a couple hours again. I just
Are
don't know if
they
that's
blank
enough. I think it probably
stones?
gets.
There are only, but there's only 2 guys,
There's
it's
all
gonna
kinds
take
of
a lot
stones.
longer than
There's
that.
all
They
kinds of
didn't
stones
maybe
back
get
there.
some other, but you're right, it's really hard to get other people,
Yeah,
or even
yeah.
kids with other Boy Scouts are not
Yeah,
doing much.
So-
More than that.
I ended up contacting this gentleman, his name is Jan Yang, and he did Alice's stone wall after somebody hit it. And he came out and gave me a quote.
Poor kid is dying.
He came out and gave me a quote for $2,200 to come in. He's licensed, insured, he's gonna build a good wall.
Just around the little
Like-
Memorial Garden?
Right, the
Yeah,
other thing,
I'll,
we don't know how to build a wall.
Let me show you.
I don't know, I
It's
just don't know
a
much
lot.
stones, I don't know how to build a wall.
It's not-
Right.
Okay,
What
so
length are we talking? It'd
it's
be like those old
37
farmer's
feet.
walls where we just sort
So
of
it
sell.
would be,
My walls are all falling down.
but it would be there, there, and there,
Okay, not on the cement side.
not on the cement side. So,
That seems like a lot.
How much mulch do you think that is?
so it's a wall, it would be a stone wall here, all the way around here,
on the
here,
side.
Because
and
this is what
then
it
here,
says.
around to where the,
35 to 110 per yard for delivery and installation. So I think that's,
How high are we talking?
Yeah.
Couple,
Do you think?
like a foot maybe?
I think
And
that's,
it would
it's
be
a good deal with the
graduated.
guys
Oh, yeah.
charge.
All these guys charge so much.
He's
Like,
from-
What's his name?
It's JANYANG.
Is he the one up in Sunderland or Deerfield or?
Yeah. He's from Tibet.
Yeah, yeah.
So, throw something out there, don't we have to get 3 bids if it's over a certain dollar amount?
Yes,
Something's wrapping my brain on
upwards.
that.
Yeah, but I think it's like 5,000 or
It's
more.
more now.
I think it's
It's
more.
only 10,000. Don't quote me on that, I'd have to look it up.
I think
But it's more than any of these.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think we'd be fine.
I couldn't remember what it was, I just knew there was a dollar amount out there.
Was there money specifically earmarked for this garden? And that's all been spent?
No, we have, I should have checked.
There wasn't that much. It was-
15,
Yeah.
94, I think.
1,500, so then, you know, if we went ahead and had to do it, then it would be like an extra 700.
That looks like crap.
But it would be done.
I just think
It would
do
be
it.
done, it would be
Just do
professional.
it.
Honestly, we have the money.
Terrible, but yeah.
It will
It's
freshen up
crap,
the
guys. It's
building.
just-
Spend the
It's
money,
crap.
so.
My friend blew that stuff.
That's my dad's from Scotland, so that's why.
Honestly, like, that's what that money was donated to us for.
I know a lot of people.
So what's the
Might
grand
as
total
well.
that we would need to take out of
2150,
the CD? Well, it's
plus the, let's just for the garden, plus whatever the gentleman you just talked about is, what is what.
Right.
200?
So,
but 2,200 minus whatever we had in Alice garden money.
Perhaps it would be better to just take it all out.
And
If
put
you're
it,
only getting
Take it
$5
out.
right,
a month.
what is,
Just
that is
take
what
out-
Michelle was saying,
Yeah,
yes.
that's a good, that's a good idea.
So put it all into the savings
Or
account.
whatever savings.
But at least it's still getting
So
something.
at least you can use it.
And you can use it whenever you want.
And we can use it for what we got all that money
Because
for.
unless you invest it, you're not gonna get that high return.
Right.
and then you saw what happened when we did invest it.
Yeah.
We lost.
Yeah, but that's how it works, like,
Yeah.
like even
Yeah.
from last month to this month,
Oh,
it's gone up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking a lot,
Right.
but I can see the whole.
July was a very good month.
Good.
July was.
That's what happens.
Was the suggestion to close out the CD and just move everything into the savings account?
Yes.
I missed
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know if someone else suggested this, the light policy that we have, the New York Lifer, policy, that there is no penalties for taking money out of there.
Oh, that's
We
great.
can always add some of that money we're putting into savings if it's too much
That's
into
good to know.
the other policy.
Is that because we're nonprofit?
They have a better rate of return on money.
That's what I'm
And we
saying.
can take money out of there anytime we want.
But it takes like 2 weeks to get it.
Yeah, but we plan something
It
and
does.
we have to vote on it,
So,
so.
and I
I'm
have the
not
same
saying
one.
put all that money
The
in
same
there.
advice.
I'm just saying, you know, maybe we put another 10, 15,000 in there and we leave the other 15,000 in savings.
I can do that too.
15,000 is gonna be spent, isn't it? Between
Yeah,
buying computers
Computers.
and the gardening.
I mean, it's just a suggestion and it's nothing we had to, you know, do now, just, I think just leave it in the back of our mind, if we're gonna close the CD out, do we wanna add any more money to the other one to, because the market is going up, and that other thing is going to start making money.
And we could always, after we do all these projects, kind of revisit what's
Yeah.
left and what we
So
want to
move
do
everything to the savings.
for now.
And then decide.
Do our
Yes.
spending.
Do our
and
spending
see
and then
I do too.
reevaluate what we're gonna do with what's left.
That
Yes.
sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to take a vote, right?
We gotta make a
Yes.
motion.
Is the vote should close the CD and move all, so I make a motion to close the CD and move all the money into the savings account?
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
It is a vote.
And
Well, I've been able to make motions in 3 years.
And I'm the opposite, I gotta keep my mouth shut.
I think we made a motion about the computers too.
Not yet.
There's
So-
a motions on this.
So So we need to make a motion about the computers too. So we need to have further discussion. What did we decide?
So we already purchased one recently, so we want to go with 4.
4 more.
So would you want to do the whole generalized plan of 5 a year, or do you not want to do
I
that?
think that's.
Why don't we try 4 a year? Because then you have 4 for 6 years. Because then you'll be on, you might have a year with nothing, and then you'll start again on the rotation. If computers have to be replaced every 7 years.
There's 25 computers total.
Yes, 25 computers total. There's
I think
8.
5.
Yeah.
5 over 5 years, and then they're all done, and then we get a cup of coffee, and then we have to start over.
Seriously, for real.
Now, we'll get this anonymous donor that would just donate all new ones for
Yes,
us.
we find
You never know.
Okay.
Well, it's not to say we're not going to get grants out there to replace some of this stuff in the coming years.
But we don't know that.
Right.
So at least it's be a plan.
Yep.
So I make a motion that we purchase 4 computers within the next month. I don't know how you do that.
But they're not computers, I thought they're just, they're like updates.
No, we need like full.
Good.
We have the monitors and like the accessories with just the like the actual
Towers.
tower, which
You
is
need the hard
They
drive.
still
$1,000.
I know what they call
Well, they're like little,
Oh, yeah.
the little box.
That's the name.
The actual
Not
computer.
towers anymore.
I know,
I'll
desktop
second it.
computers.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So now do we need another
We need
motion?
another one for the 5 a year.
5 a year. So I make a motion that we purchase 5 computers, a minimum of 5 computers per year,
For fiscal year, right?
per fiscal year, starting in, what's the next fiscal year called, 2023?
This one is 2023.
It'll be
So
2024.
we'll be starting in 2024.
And second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Awesome, that'll be exciting.
Jen, don't cry about the money spending.
I know, you ladies. I am impressed. We're getting things done.
So I had something under other, to go over. Jen, we have a lot of library, we have a lot of books at work that are, some of them are technical trainers, some of them are, how do you, like, one of them might say like, how to use your inside voice. How do
Oh,
you
that's
handle
cute.
stress
Like,
in the
you have to
workplace? Educational books that we had in our business library, and they're getting rid of them, so they're contacting libraries.
Okay,
So I don't know if you would be interested in any, I can, one day do a video with you, a Zoom on
okay.
our phone. And I can kind of show you books that we have. Some libraries say they can't be, older than 3 years. They can't have this, this, and this. I don't know what your criteria is for that type of learning.
Yeah,
So you could always put them in the book sale.
yes. So we have it's like a 3 to 5 year for nonfiction titles, depending on what the subject matter is. And if your company is okay with it, the ones that we wouldn't use, we would put in our book sale, which is happening in September. So
Yeah,
We need
so
to bring
what
back
she wants to do, and as I said, one day next week, or Thursday or Friday, whatever works, I get out of work at 3:30, maybe we can set up a time where, we can do FaceTime, and I can kind of show you the books,
okay,
and you
sure.
can say yes, no, maybe, I actually picked up Hooked on Phonics for kids.
Oh,
It was
They still
grade
make
1
that?
through
I know.
Yes, they do. And it actually had everything in it. So, that was just something that I picked up to keep at home for my, grandkids.
Okay.
I've heard of it, but I haven't heard of it long.
Okay, yeah, I'd absolutely love to do that with you.
Okay, we'll set up a time then to go through that.
Great, Sounds good.
So we also need to square up with the Alice
Yeah, the
Garden
Yes,
spending and
we
the
don't want
White
to
Hollow quotes.
Forget
And the
that.
stone
We will
wall.
accept those. I think they're good.
Yeah.
I think that's, I just checked the price of what it is for the mulch, the delivery and installation, and it can go up to $110 per yard.
Yeah, and I think it was 5 yards. Right?
Yeah, that's a good price.
So-
Okay.
So I make a motion, doing it tonight, ladies. I make a motion that we accept the quotes for the trimming of all the bushes, trees,
Weeding.
weeding, and mulching from White Hollow.
All in
About-
favor? Oh, those are seconded.
Wait a minute,
first.
how about,
Mowing too.
how about?
There was no mowing
It's just
involved.
trim
No,
trees,
mulching
bushes.
With the compost, how about compost?
Oh,
Yeah.
is that mowing too?
No.
No.
They already did
Bushes,
that.
they would
Trees,
mow.
bushes,
Oh,
weed all gardens and mulch.
So you'll get a quote from him about the compost, because we don't know what that is yet.
I'll get that from,
Okay.
I'll just give you that
Oh,
Where
you'll
are they
just,
located? I can't recall them now.
oh, I know.
Why do they go in there and bring?
They might be able to get the
Street in
compost
Grand.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll do the work.
whole thing.
There we
Well, of course, we don't want
And
to
you
do
can
it.
raise two
Thank you.
I mean,
It works there
Right.
mostly, but
I was gonna
it's
do
not
it.
gonna be
No,
like
no, no.
$7,000, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
no.
probably
Yeah.
under $1,000.
I know, he's very, I think he's very
Yeah.
reasonable
And
and
he
everything
is.
else, so.
He's done everything.
Right.
And then not just the
Right,
prices stuff.
so.
Yeah. Well, everyone comes over to.
And now we
And
need a
now-
motion about the stone
No,
wall.
we need one.
She charged me to go into my pool, there's so many
So
children.
how does everyone feel about doing the stone wall?
How do y'all feel about the stone wall at 2,200?
Where's that?
Yeah,
In back?
I can show you where it would be. Show you.
Be around
Oh, we
Alice's
have
garden.
$1,500, that was around $1,500, that was donated for.
And that was about the gentleman you were talking about?
Yeah,
Oh, he does
It's
beautiful work.
very
I've seen his-
intricate.
Yeah.
I've seen his stuff online.
Yeah.
and,
So it would cost us like
Beautiful work.
$700.
and then
Worth it.
the project would be
And then the
over.
project
Then it would
is
be
done.
done.
They'd be off my
Last one here.
stress factor.
Right, and these are
So
Historic
around here.
rock walls. So
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
when we built this building, there was an existing historic rock wall that we took down and put in the back in that big pile.
Storage.
So that's
And then
where
maybe
those
next year we
rocks,
could
you
reseed
know,
all that
they're
crap.
from the original.
Yeah.
And so
She needs a
I
lot
think
of
it's
things.
for professionals.
I agree.
Do you, the way that it's gonna match how it was done at her house, and who better to do it than someone who's already done it, I think. And
Well, he
you've
just
seen his work, he's done a great
I've seen
job.
it in pictures.
I make a motion to accept the quote from, what was his name?
Jam Yang.
Jam Yang.
Jam Yang for $2,200 for the installation of the rock wall around Alice's garden. Also, that the money, part of the money would come from the money that's designated for the restoration of her garden.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
And if we could have this all done before our treasurer leaves, that'd be great.
Michelle, I think you're gonna have to start recording these meetings, because I would never be able to write that fast. We're making these decisions.
All you're spending is getting your
Okay, that's awesome, I'm excited.
Me too. It'll be done in September.
But it'll be beautiful.
Yes. How long are you gonna sleep? Well.
Right, we don't want to go another season with this blooming.
Oh, it'll just look so fresh out there too. Everything's just so overgrown.
Speaking of
I know.
Alice, most of you know about Paula's mom.
Yeah.
Did you talk about that? Did you want to do anything?
Jen, we have the policy already in place where we donate a book.
Right. I was thinking a card.
Yeah, but if, I will definitely do that because she would come to our book group. Excuse me, her and Paula would come to our book group together. So what I was thinking
She was
is,
a
our-
very
Was
feisty,
she?
Or
wonderful
was
woman.
Has she been sick?
She just passed.
They may not have a hospital, but.
Has she?
She hasn't done it though.
Because, Paula was living with her for a
Oh,
while, wasn't she?
Yeah. I'd like to
But,
a lot.
she
Yeah.
moved out,
She
she
will
was
feel
always,
it.
she was always looking at, getting her birthday.
And she's the youngest. I think. So there's a really close lesson.
So I will definitely do a few of our up-and-coming book group picks in her honor, put the little nameplate in the back and just say, avid book group lover. But if there's anything else we want to do, and did anyone see her obituary or anything? If there's anything
Yeah, I know her
people
last
want
name.
to.
What's her
Hold
last
on.
name?
I don't know the last name, but I can look on the legacy thing, EMS
Okay.
Live. Sometimes they don't come out right away though,
We want to
Yeah,
definitely
sometimes they
do
don't.
like
If
a
she
card
dies,
from all of us.
Mhm.
Oh, it's actually on Facebook. It came out an hour ago.
Oh,
There we go.
okay.
What's her name?
Jeanette.
And the last name?
Oh, Beaulieu.
Oh, yes.
B-E?
And her middle initial is M.
What's the last name?
E.
Bowyer?
Beaulieu.
Bowyer.
I-E-U.
Bowyer.
Okay.
There she is. She's so cute.
She's so sweet.
It's a good picture of her.
How old is she?
86.
Wow.
I think we all have Paula's address, right?
I don't.
Where
I
did
think
she
it came
live?
from that.
She lives on, is it Amherst Street?
Yeah, that corner there, I think, right?
Oh, that's right, because she just recently moved. I don't know
Yeah.
if I had that.
So what is her address? Do you have it?
Got from,
Like a tree.
Is it 1:30?
Yeah.
And donations can be made to Jericho, which is the horse place Thomas wants to volunteer
Oh,
for the disabled, and soup kitchen. So it means Learning Soup Kitchen, pantry kitchen.
Is that?
I just Googled it, so I'm sure it's probably on her
I
page.
just went on her page.
Yeah, it is. It's Lorraine Kitchen, like you said, and Jericho.
And what Paula said to me is that she's with my dad. They were very, they had a very good marriage. And it says it here, she was previously Spider beloved as husband and soulmate Leopold E. Bowyer, who passed in 1979. They were married in 67. I was 4 years old. No, 3 years old.
Yeah.
They have 6 children.
she raised those kids by herself.
She did, the 6 kids.
Wow.
She had 6 of them.
So you said Paula's the youngest of the?
I don't
I think her
know.
sister's younger.
Paula, yeah, Donna, Scott. It doesn't say the
Did
order.
anybody find her address? 148.
Is it 148?
So I can definitely send a card on behalf of the trustees.
Do you want me to send it?
Sure, if you'd like to. Thank you.
I went out to dinner with her in Florida sometimes. We would go to Johnny's. It was so
Aw.
funny. She goes, I'm not going to this. I said,
And she's so much
She's
fun,
so
like,
cute.
why not? Absolutely. Okay, and I have our warrants. Do we want to move on to warrants?
You ready? You ready there, Candace?
I'm sitting quiet. Got all my work done now.
Good. I think you did good work.
Absolutely. I'm impressed. So we have 2 warrants, one in the amount of $1,708.52. It's for GoNet Speed, Baker and Taylor, and the library store. And then we have a second for $1,667.32 for GoNet Speed, Baker and Taylor, Gray House Publishing, Midwest Tapes, and the library store.
Someone please make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the warrants as read.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
And then you do a signature. don't
Or do you want me?
You sign there and date. Sign there and date, please.
This is good practice.
Yeah, it is. It's your first official.
I even got my own binder, but I like yours better.
Feel free to use your own if you would like.
So then, we talked about the first year orientation.
It's gonna be here.
Isn't that about the
Yeah,
date?
that'll be great. Did you sign up?
October, when is it, October?
It's on the 9th, is it?
That is easy, yeah.
I think it's before the weekend.
No, 40th high school.
Are you gonna go to the tour? I'm not gonna go to the tour.
Oh, no.
Makes sense.
no,
We know the celebration.
Sure.
We don't want you to go.
I don't know.
We'll even come.
I don't wanna commit to anything.
I'm so happy. Congratulations.
You look so good.
Oh, thanks.
You're gonna cry, I know you are.
Yeah.
Grandbaby.
First.
Your first.
Yeah.
Exciting.
No, we're in Saco, Maine.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Oh, Saco, I still.
Saco's nice there.
Yeah,
I love
that's my
Saco.
UNE, so it was in
Oh,
Saco.
I love it there.
What street?
I live on Oak Street.
It's near Ocean Park. I like Ocean Park.
Okay, so
Me
that
too.
side toward the.
Ocean Park is where I'm staying.
Hey, Jeanette,
Yeah.
Ocean Park
Yes.
Lane's actually a town.
there's one
Just
thing
saying.
I think.
Part of
that's
Boulder.
My kids went to
the
camp.
opportunity for these, so,
My kids went to
their
camp there every
Yes.
single year.
That
So
too.
I'm very friendly.
Okay.
Was that the only committee we needed to form? Like,
Yes.
okay.
So I did send out that notice, so you guys should all have it. If you can come, we encourage. If you need me to resend it or whatever, let me know.
Just wanted to.
And then, is anyone
That's cool.
interested in joining our committee for staff development?
I am.
Okay.
So what was that about now, the staff development?
We're gonna be researching job positions and, working with me and hopefully the town.
Look, all the hands are coming up.
Yeah, so we want to create 2 possible part-time positions to be like circulation desk work, to help take some of the burden off the current.
You're going to take over my circulation.
Oh, no.
They're gonna take over my post, so you can still be there.
Finally.
You can keep your post, they'll take over my spot.
Okay.
I miss those little things. Remember these like libraries used to like stamp the books?
Yeah, oh, I remember that over
I used to
there.
play like that. I used to make all the books
The
when I was a
next
kid.
fiscal year.
Yeah, for this next fiscal year, so fiscal year 24.
I got a super
We're gonna try.
So you would need that put together before, like,
Budgets.
the budget, like the May budget?
checking.
Oh, so
Budget
one person will be a
season-
page.
the budget
So
season starts
that's a good-
like
you wanna
December,
do that?
January.
I think you should be on the committee.
All right,
Denise is volunteering.
I'll do it.
Denise, okay, so
Then I need
Nita.
someone else.
Janice, Denise, and Nita.
There you go.
Oh, unless you don't need 3, then I won't do it.
We usually do, I think 3 is good representation.
With you, along with
So along with me,
So,
and we can work out
so
times.
if we could do some of these meetings on Zoom or something, that'd be great. I'm doing total knee replacements, guys, so,
Wow.
3 weeks on each knee, I'll be, not able to leave the house, but then I have 3 weeks in between that I can probably come to the library too. So,
Okay, we can make it work.
yeah,
All right.
it'll get my mind off everything because I'm not working. I got 4 months off from work.
Wow, okay, so you can help me, you can come here and help with this. Perfect.
Yep,
Love it.
definitely. Give me something to do that'll keep my mind off the pain I know I'm gonna be in for the next 4 months.
Oh, gosh.
My mom's having hers done.
Okay.
But she's a
well, we
lot
will-
older.
I will be in touch with you ladies about when we can plan that, but for tonight, I think we're done.